Hi everyone, welcome back to El Grey Books. I'm Ellie, and today I thought I would talk about some of the Aussie books that I am most excited for that are coming out in 2020. So I have 11 here, and these are a mixture of fiction, non-fiction, and I believe there's one poetry in there. I do want to make a separate list of Love Oz YA and middle grade titles, but that video is not today. So we're going to jump into these. A lot of them don't have a lot of information out yet. A lot of them don't have covers. If they do have a cover, I will put it up here as I talk about it. A lot of them don't even have release dates, so yeah. This is kind of like a guessing game of when will this come out? Who knows? It's supposed to be 2020. So I'm gonna do it in order of the ones that do have release dates and then the ones that don't at the end. So starting up on the 3rd of March, we had Melting Moments by Anna Goldsworthy. This is her first fiction novel, and it is based on her grandma's experiences in World War II. And I love a good World War II book. Goldsworthy put out a book called Piano Lessons. I think it was a few years ago now. I haven't read that one, but I have heard really good things about it. So I added this fiction one to my TBR, and I guess we'll kind of see which one I end up getting to first. I haven't bought this one yet, so at the time of filming, I may have bought it by the time this video goes out, we'll see. On March 31st, one of my most anticipated books of the year is coming out, which is Stone Sky Gold Mountain by Miranda. I read her first book, The Fish Girl, a few years ago and loved it, which is like a little novella. This one I believe is about some Chinese siblings who moved to Australia, and I believe it's at the time of Gold Rush and things ensue, I guess. So yeah, really excited about that one. On April 28th, we have some poetry coming out. We have Throat by Ellen Van Meerven. I just read her collection Comfort Food in November or December, and I really loved it, so I'm really excited about this one. I believe this is kind of like a continuation follow-up to some of the things that she wrote about in that collection, but with it being poetry, I mean, you could argue that most collections are kind of like follow-on. Yeah, I don't know. Next up, we jump to May. I've got two in May that don't have dates, but are supposed to be coming out in the month. So firstly, I have Hysteria by Katrina, Bryant. I have my laptop here, which is what I keep staring at, which I believe is a book about female sexuality, and I believe also to do with mental illness. I can't super remember, but it sounded good. And then the next one I have is another one of my most anticipated books of the year, which is Gunk Baby by Jaime Moreno. She wrote Pink Mountain on Locust Island, which I read last year for the Stellar Prize and loved it. So this is her second book. She's like 22 or something, and her stuff is incredible. So I can't wait to get to this one. Then we jump to June. June has two very exciting books coming out. We have The Rain Heron by Robbie Arnott. Robbie Arnott's first book, Flames, is one of my favorite books, and this one is out on the 2nd of June. This one has a cover, and it just sounds really awesome, and I can't wait to get to it. And then on the 16th, we have All Our Shimmering Skies by Trent Olsen, which also has a cover. Trent is the author of Boy Swallows Universe, which has been hugely popular. Again, at the time that I'm filming this, I haven't read it, but I am hoping to get to it sort of in the space between the time I filmed this and the time this is going out. And if that fails, I will hopefully read it for Aussie April. I have time. I just want to make sure I've read it before June because I'd really like to pick that one up when it comes out. On to July. This is the last one. Oh no, it's not. I lied. I have Women and Leadership by Julia Gillard, which doesn't have a date, but it's coming out in July. Julia Gillard, for those of you who might not know, was our first female Prime Minister here in Australia. I have to admit, I'm not a super huge fan of her, but I do respect her as a woman. So I just haven't really seen anything about women in leadership in Australia. So I'm really happy that this is hopefully going to be good. I hope. There's been good reviews of it from like booksellers and newspapers and things that have gotten it super early, but I'm excited to see that one. And then the last one that I have a date for, we skip all the way to October, and that is 100 Days by Alice Pung. This is Alice Pung's first adult fiction novel. She's written one YA in the past called Miranda, which was also nominated for the Stella Prize and is incredible. But she mostly writes non-fiction. I haven't read any of them yet, but again, it's something that I'm hoping to get my hands on before this one's out. I don't really know much about what this one is, but yeah, I know it's her debut adult fiction and that she's a very much beloved author and again is someone that I really respect. So I'm excited to see what this one's going to be like. And then I have 2 left that don't have dates yet, not even a month. We have How We Love by Clementine Ford, who is an incredible woman. I know that this is non-fiction, and Clementine Ford has said on social media that it's not really a research-based text. Neither is it like her dating life. So I'm interested to see what it's going to be. Clementine Ford is the author of Fight Like a Girl and Boys Will Be Boys. So I haven't read either of those, but I'm hoping to get to them. This doesn't have a date as far as I can find. There's nothing on her social media about it, obviously announcing it, but no date, and there's nothing with the publisher yet either. And then the last one I have is Only Happiness Here by Gabrielle Carey. Gabrielle Carey has written a few. I believe she's the co-author of Puberty Blues. She also wrote Moving Among Strangers, which was also nominated for the Stella Prize. You can kind of see a theme here maybe. And again, no date on this one. The only thing I do know is that it's about Elizabeth von Arnhem, who I read her first book. I read my first book of hers, Vera, earlier this year, and I really enjoyed it. And I think she's just a fascinating person. I know a little bit about her, but not a whole lot. So I would be really interested to read that. In a couple of things I've been reading lately, she's kind of popped up in them. So I think that's a good sign. Anyway, that is my list. I'm sure there are others that I'm really excited for. And like I mentioned, there's still YA middle grade. And yeah, I'm sure I will find more during the year. But these are the ones that kind of like stuck out to me. And I'm really excited. So thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.